Hello everyone, this is a quick demo showing the working of the subtool motion for ROBOTIS TASK version 3. Just introduction to the main features. So you can download the TASK version 3 from this web page. It exists for desktop as well for mobile devices. So iOS and Android do exist for them, version exists for them. Installing so far right now is installing on an iPhone is fine, looking great. But I have problem when I put it on an iPad or a tablet, even Android tablet. You see there's a scaling issue for the menu bar. Hopefully in future version this will be taken care of. The manual does exist, the e-manual does exist. It kind of slanted or geared toward the newest system, ROBOTIS Engineer, but you know, you can use them all. All the instructions are there. Online documentation exists. And of course you have my book to go through some other details also. The motion data structure is quite complicated, probably the most complicated one from robotic systems. So essentially it's based on poses, you know, like the Mini has 17 servo. So if you set up each of those servo at a certain position, you get a certain pose. Okay, so each of those things are called a keyframe. And if you stack them up on a timeline, you essentially get motion. So this is pretty much like making regular cartoons. So each of those keyframes, when you stack them on a timeline, that's called a motion unit or partial movement. Each of them is a partial movement. And then if you stack them up one by one after each other, essentially to another timeline, and what you got a motion. And in my book I added the word list or page so that I can distinguish from motion units, that's all. But officially robotics people call them just motion. A long time ago they called motion page. And then you can stack up a bunch of little motion pages and form a motion group. And those things there are inside a motion file called MTN3. Included with the book is mini custom MTN3, which has all the special motion units and motion group that I created for the book. And then combine with that with the actual 3D robot graphics, and you get a animation of all the move. So for motion subtool, mainly you have F4. That's where you edit the motion units. You have many tools here. So you can see that each of these things is a keyframe. Alright, so I'm going to pull up the actual software. So here it is. So you can create your task program as well as create your motion program. I'm going to open my mini custom file. And let's go to one of my stuff here, which is way down here, which is let's say crouching bow 1. And the nice thing about it, if you right click, 3D manipulation. So each of these things here is a keyframe that I created for it. Okay, and the key thing here is this. What happened in between? In between, essentially you have interpolated keyframe. And the smallest keyframe you can set up to each other is, let me zoom in, which is this one. See if I can set it up for you. The next to it is a keyframe. It's 7 milliseconds per part. That's all you can do. The joint parameter can be set here. These are the flexibility level. Default is 4. In some of the other example, I show you that I have put it at 2 to make it firmer for some of the application. Let's see what else. Oh, join. The height here, join. Basically, they move together. So you can see that if you are changing it. Okay, let me move it here. So join everybody group together as a group, and these are set up special, and you can double click on it to edit. You can see that they are made a certain way. So you can see that they all move together. We use that one in the book a little bit. Okay, so that's F4 roughly. F5 is when you combine those motion units together to create a more complete motion. So let's get back to it. So we'll do F5. For example, I created, where did it go? Where did it go? So essentially I put crossing bar 1, it go to calibration move, we go to crossing bar 2, we go to calibration move, calibration bar 3, go to initial position. So this one here where you can animate crossing bar 1, calibration, crossing bar 2, calibration, crossing bar 3, initial position. Okay. So in the book we'll show you how to add up and all of that later. The interesting part here is that this one is a looping or endless loop. So now if I do that, you keep on doing that forever and ever. So you repeat again. Okay, you stop it. And then you can bring it back. Okay. And lastly, you have the motion group. So let's bring it back. Motion group, for example, I create CT custom group, body roll example. As you walk 1, smart avoider, arm gripper, and so on. The nice thing about this version 3 is all the information you have as a motion group. When you program in the subtask, the sub-tool task part, all that information about the motion list and the motion group are also available for you. Previously, all we know was just the name of the motion page. Now you also have the text that come with it, so it helps a lot. And in the book, chapter 4 devoted to the motion tool, and you can see that it's very complete, that you can see for yourself.